What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new Link Evolution deck profile. Although Noble Knights weren't requested, I have been meaning to play this deck since they are based on one of my favorite legends in history, Knights of the Round Table. I did forget to save the segment where I scroll through every card, so I will definitely post a list in the description below. Noble Knights, as many might know, already revolve around different equip spells called Noble Arms. While some of the monsters do have Gemini-like effects, a lot of the newer important monsters do not. First things first, our starter cards are mainly Merlin, Medraut, and Noble Knight Brothers. Merlin can special summon any knight from the deck by tributing itself, getting you Medraut or even Ivyanne depending on your hand. Medraut can pop one of your equipped spells to special summon another knight from the deck alongside him, and Brothers can summon up to 3 Noble Knights from the hand. All in all, you want to find a way to go into Isolde, the Link monster who finally finds its way home after being run in almost every other warrior deck. I've seen some lists focus on Borz more, but I didn't try to gear myself towards him. He does serve the great purpose of milling your equip similar to Isolde, however, so you can technically skip summoning her if you want to just go into Artorigus. Custennin is also one of the new important knights, as he can enable an additional normal summon if he is used as an extra deck material, as well as being a free special summon if there is an equip on the field. I don't go over 40 cards in decks too often, but I did feel it was okay here since you're milling 4 equips on your opening play potentially. Once you get those equips into the grave, summoning Artorigus is the next goal, as he can equip up to 3 equipped spells from the grave, gaining whatever effects you want from them. I usually prefer going first into Sacred Custennin, who has an amazing float into any Noble Knight Artorigus if he is destroyed, giving you the form of your choosing to deal with back row or monsters. A lot of the Noble Knight monsters restrict you into summoning them for the rest of the turn, so that is why there is minimal room for other extra deck monsters. Trap card is really good and surprised me, so it's definitely good to have alongside a line of equips, especially with its graveyard effect to follow up with. The last thing I want to point out is a small personal lesson I took from the Noble Arms equips. They all can re-equip onto a knight after they are destroyed once per turn, except Excaliburn. This is the sole equip that will not re-equip after being destroyed, so it can only be manually equipped or recovered with an Artorigus summon. This did hurt me once or twice, so it's good to know, as the immunity to targeting is amazing to have on a monster. The replay we're going to look at was actually requested to be the start of the replays, as it does have a pretty epic ending, but it does showcase the deck's potential pretty well also. Going first, just like I prefer, we have the amazing search card Heretics of the Chalice, which I urge everyone to remember its second effect, as it can be quite useful. Since we have Ivyanne with an equip already in the hand, I decided to search Gawayn, as it can be special summoned when there is a normal monster on the field. While Gawayn is pretty rare to land, it does work with the older knights like Medraut and Borz, but the token Ivyanne produces works just as well. Thanks to this, we can use the token as a link material instead of one of our valuable level 4 monsters and save it for an Exceed summon instead. Once you go into Isolde, you can easily special summon another level 4 from the deck thanks to her mill effect, so we are going to go for Brothers since an additional normal summon from Custennin wouldn't do much in this scenario. While Brothers is amazing for getting the draw 1 off, controlling your equips in the grave will come up later on at a crucial point in the duel for reusing Isolde's effect. For now, we are going to sit on our rank 4 Sacred Custennin since our opponent can either deal with him and give us Artorigus, or he can risk getting up to 2 cards bounced back to the hand. Either way, it works out. Having Avalon in the hand is a good defense, as it is a good hand trap for negating anything, but keep in mind that it doesn't destroy. While I did search Black Laundsallyn with Isolde's search effect, I realized later on in the stream that searching Eachtar is a bit better as a special summon for later on, as you would rather prefer to summon Laundsallyn from the deck. This is only for the rare rank 5 overlay summon of Sacred Artorigus. That aside, we are facing Ray Raptors, so my use of Avalon is crucial here, as letting these guys get rolling can be bad. Since my opponent went through the trouble of summoning last Strix, I'm 99% sure now that he has rank up magic in his hand and tried to hit me with Ultimate Falcon, so Avalon hitting Strix on its tribute effect was perfect. This also works out because our opponent's turn is officially over, as that seemed to have been his go-to play. The only downside here for this is that our Sacred Custennin remains on the field, forcing us to properly Exceed summon only 1 Artorigus as opposed to getting 1 through Custennin as well. If Excaliburn left the field, we also could have used Sacred Custennin as a material to rank up into an Artorigus, which could have helped for more damage as well. Once again, the useful draw 1 effect gets us an Avalon, which is always welcome, but unfortunately I don't use it on the Fuzzy Lania search effect, which we are going to regret later on. I didn't bounce the Fuzzy back with Custennin because it wouldn't have led to lethal anyway, but looking back it probably would have been a good idea, especially with this Avalon era. Going on the offensive now, we can go into rank 4 Artorigus now, and get those noble arms ready to clog our back row and deal some damage. While the chance for Borrelsword Dragon was there, it wouldn't have gotten us lethal as it would have missed by a small amount of life points, so keeping our noble knight lineup would definitely serve better for defense next turn. I did get kinda complacent here because of the way our opponent opened his first turn, but we still do have plenty of defense to survive a big push. My opponent does have Lightning Storm and chooses monsters, which I decided to let go through since we can get our Artorigus float and re-equip. Honestly, spells and traps would have been more devastating since it eliminates the once per turn re-equip easily, but I'm not complaining. We will get our Sacred Artorigus and re-equip to avoid using up the once per turn recovery that the equips have. Using Destiny is crucial here as we can still re-equip it once if it gets destroyed. Once again, we do see the fuzzy that he searched, but I should have negated this with Avalon. My problem here was overestimating his hand and thinking he had another way to get an Exceed play or a Y Strix play, but in reality I don't think he did now. There's no reason to negate 4 Strix as we know he has the rank up ready and waiting, but if he had another monster, negating a potential Y Strix would be ideal if he decided to go into that. Our opponent is running a lot of Ray Raptors I'm not used to seeing, so that helped them in the surprise factor since I'm not aware of what some of these cards can do combo wise. When we use Avalon eventually, we will pop Destiny as it already used up its protection effect on the Lightning Storm, so we can reset it by re-equipping it onto Sacred Artorigus. Finally, after some thinking, we do see the Revolution Force rank up, which only pushed the Exceed Ray Raptor up by 1 rank. Thinking this is what he was holding on to, I throw the Avalon only to get hit with the surprise that he has 2 rank ups. We held on to Avalon quite a bit for nothing, so we messed up pretty bad here as now we are going to see an interesting string of plays that get him the board he needs to win. There is no more disruption we can throw out, so we have to sit and let this play out now. Like I said, with Destiny now on Sacred Artorigus, we can still survive a big push, although having him in attack mode could have been a tad safer because of the Gallatin re-equip. While our opponent is going through some fancy exciting plays, I want to remind everyone to like and comment on the video along with subscribing on Twitch. I'm starting to feel comfortable with my work schedule, so streams have been looking pretty consistent on Sundays and Mondays for now, though I'd like to get an extra day in at certain spots also. Better to get this out now so I'm not rushing at the end of the duel. Things are winding down now right on cue though, as we finally have to face one of the scariest monsters to hit the field, Ultimate Falcon. Ultimate Falcon isn't too difficult to defeat with this deck as we could easily get over 3500 attack with Sacred Artorigus, equipped with Caliburn and Gallatin, but unfortunately we do lose attack points from Gallatin each of our turns, so we can't get over right now. I do take a few moments this turn to weigh my options as I cannot afford to let this duel drag on with Ultimate Falcon on board now, and I remember saying we had to end things somehow soon. There are maybe 2 ways to win this and I didn't see the second one until after the stream, but I'm actually going to let the rest of this duel play out for the surprise factor. I hope you guys enjoy the ending along with the rest of the replays, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section.